Okay, so y'all know what this means. We are right at the 30-minute mark. Orlando Debbie did not bring herself any water. I don't know what she was thinking. She knows at the halfway mark. I'm just kidding. No, actually, she's got a long drive home, so she's probably not, taking it. But so everybody get your water out, and I got my new. It's so cute.
Oh.
I got my.
It's got the Skyliner.
It does have the Skyliner on it. Look, there's some things I hadn't even noticed. There's King Triton. Mm-hmm. There's the Epcot Globe. There's Cinderella's Castle. So here's the 50th anniversary mug. Anyway, so at the 30-minute mark, everybody grab some water. This is special magical Disney water. It's straight out of the Disney Springs. I'm just kidding. It is not. It came out of a bottle. Okay.
And that cup just the bomb.
It is. I thought it was super cute. Okay. So, again,
Dusty's watching.
Oh, Dusty and Casey, look. Here's the new 50th mug. And Casey and Alyssa and Bo had an opportunity to say hello to Debbie earlier. So
yeah,
she's still here, Casey. She stayed. Okay, so I promised
I'm actually thinking of going and dancing. But
yeah, no kidding. Yeah, there's a live band just right over here. Casey, you missed the is it a dragon?
Yeah.
Yeah, you missed the dragon from Rainforest Cafe just
the
a few
volcano
minutes ago.
going off. It's the volcano going off.
Oh yeah, that's what it was. Volcano. Oh, that's right. Yeah, we're not at Universal Studios.
No.
It was a volcano.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so we promised, and hello, Liz from San Angelo. It's good to see you. So here for the second half, in the first half we were talking about, finding ways to make the eating plan or just the plan in general, work for you. And in the second half, still live on location with Orlando Debbie. And this makes it so nice because every single chat I always say we, like there's somebody else with me. There's finally somebody else with me. Usually when I'm saying we, it's just me and Dusty.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So it's me and
I
Orlando
say we
Debbie.
with me and Primera.
Exactly. I know, like refer to us like he's part of the discussion. But anyway, so I promised in the second half that we were going to talk about some ways to successfully dine out on Disney. But I have to warn you. So first thing is, and Casey, you are signed in as me now, so you are answering her as if you have an egg instead of as Casey, but that is okay. I just didn't want you to confuse anybody. So first of all, for anyone who is planning a trip to Disney, I have lots of people ask. So people ask me all the time, what should I do? What should I stay? Where should I stay? What should we eat? How do you stay on plan? Well, what do you eat while you're there? Hello, Dina.
Hi, Deanna.
I can't remember if that one's Dina or Deanna. I can't remember if you're my Dina or my Deanna, so you'll have to tell us, the one that just popped in. If you're not planning on going to Disney, just hang in there because I think some of the things that we're going to talk about will be helpful if you're going to the beach or if you're going to, SeaWorld or Six Flags or wherever your kids, grandkids, family members, whatever they have planned for you this summer. I think they'll still be, helpful. Even if you're just going on a business trip, I think they'll be helpful. So first
Dina.
thing I need to say, Dina, that's what I thought. I knew it. So one of them's got two N's and one of them has one. Yes, Liz, we're going to talk about two on and one off here in just a second. But I need to say, so for my other Disney fans who are planning a trip and haven't been since the new reservation system started, you need to pay attention. So if you are specifically thinking about coming to Disney, if you have not been here since they started that new system, you need to pay attention. And for the rest of you, hang in there because there will be some tips that you could use, for a different destination if you weren't coming to Disney. Okay, so John and I obviously live out of state, so we live in Tennessee, and we can only keep in the loop with all of this new stuff as much as we can from watching his favorite YouTubers, from talking to people like Orlando Debbie, just trying to stay, trying to keep up. So then actually getting here though, eye-opener. So we've been coming to Disney, let me see, Casey is almost 28, so we've been coming to Disney for 23 years, try to come once a year. COVID shot that for a little bit, but there have been years when we've come 2 and 3 times in a year. We thought we had it down, okay, but you need to pay attention. So my advice is do what?
She goes, I'm 28.
Oh, you are 28. Sorry. Does that mean you're going to be... Oh, that's right, because it's already been December. So you'll be 29. You're almost 30. You're almost 30. Anyway, so we've been coming here for a long time. My advice is, even if you've been coming to Disney for a long time like we have, don't assume anything. Hey, and look, we have a friend.
He's taking pictures.
Don't assume anything. Do not assume anything, and know before you go. John's advice was, of course, he has decided to go back to the campground and wash clothes because he loves to wash clothes. And Debbie said she thinks it's therapeutic for him because,
yeah, I do.
Yeah, has he not gone to wash clothes every time you've seen him?
Yep.
Yeah, he disappears to wash clothes. He loves sitting in that laundromat.
But
anyway,
I don't take it personally.
Yeah. He just loves it. He loves going in there and just, hanging out and doing nothing. But John's advice is to realize that this new world, he calls it Disney in advance. So this was a shock to us. He usually likes to talk to a human being on the phone and wait until we get here to do anything. So to decide anything, he likes to wait until we get here. But just based on, and I won't dwell on this too long, but just based on our, don't get me wrong, it's still magical. We're still having a great time. Obviously, we're still having a great time. Mm-hmm. But we got here and it was such a shock that he said, John's advice is to check in advance, plan your major meals, and make reservations around those, and lock down those major attractions if you choose to do the Genie Plus with the lightning lanes to reduce stress and relax. We watched more than one family. This morning, we finally figured out how to get, good night, Lynn. We finally figured out how to get some reservations for breakfast this morning, and we watched more than one family walk up to a restaurant that normally, you wouldn't get right in, but normally you could walk up and get a time for later, and they were like, nope, sorry, you just can't. So I don't know, it stressed John out that that those families walking up could not get anything to eat. So Debbie lives about an hour from Disney, and she was a frequent. Julie's dinner wasn't really ready. Hi, Julie, you're back. But Debbie lives about an hour from Disney, and she was previously a frequent visitor on a whim. Had a meetup group that she would come and walk with. When we would show up, she would come down. So she used to be a frequent visitor on a whim. But things are very different, even for Florida residents, aren't they?
Yes.
Yeah.
Very different.
With the new annual passes and the new system. So what's your best advice for somebody that's just coming back this year?
I would make sure you have a reservation. Not just a ticket. Having a ticket in hand does not ensure you getting into a park. You can park at a parking space, but you cannot get inside the parks without having a reservation to go along with that ticket.
Yeah. So you don't need any extra stress. So the stress of already trying to decide what you're going to eat while you're here, you don't need any extra stress when you show up. So believe it or not, this does have to do with eating when we're talking about this reservation system. And John was saying that too when he said, go ahead and nail down. Okay, bye Casey, bye Bo, bye Dusty, who's sleeping. But go ahead and lock that stuff down. So and I'm serious when I say this reservation system is no joke. It is no joke.
Yeah.
They're not kidding. So we watched 2 cast members yesterday begging for their 2 cast member friends to get in. They didn't have park reservations. They couldn't get in. We were in a semi-panic yesterday because we had reservations to one park, could not get reservations to any other day that we were here, and then we found out after we bought our tickets, that having a valid ticket to a park does not guarantee you admittance into the park, and that's correct, isn't it?
Correct.
So even as an annual pass holder, you are not guaranteed to go into the park.
And I also found in getting a time for a ride that you have to do it on your app, and everything is on the app now, and you have to go through that process to the very end and get the confirmation and be able to, just like you said, you're ready to go. Or you don't have that time slot.
Yeah. So this really does have to do something with food, though. So this advice is to say, what does this have to do with eating and staying on plan? But as we found out the hard way, by assuming that the new plan we assumed that it only affected rides. We assumed that it only affected the way that, like the old fast pass system. John and I had some assumptions because we've been coming for so long, even though we're out of towners, because we've been coming for so long, we made some assumptions that are just not true this time. And again, trust me, now that we've got it figured out, we are still having a great time. But in order to stay on plan, not lose your minds, we were in a position yesterday, there was about an hour and a half to 2 hours there that we talked to 7 different cast members to get to the point that, that we were at. And now we're good, but I could have gone off the rails. I was so temporarily, for just that hour and a half or 2 hours, I was so stressed out about this. I literally could have gone, that's it, we're going to go to Girardelli and eat lunch. You know, because we were kind of freaking out. So Carol Lou does not do this kind of stress. So she wants to go to the beach. Carol Lou, I love the beach for one day. For one day. And then that's too much relaxing for me. Y'all know me. You know me, Carol Lou. You know me too well to think that I would sit around. So an hour and a half of talking to 7 different cast members did not slow me down. And I'm not trying to dissuade anybody from coming to Disney. This is literally about how to make sure, how to pre-plan and know. Because we've done lots of planning before we came to Disney. It was just a different kind of planning because we hadn't had to think, this much about before we got here. So, okay, so here are some things that you can do. So what does this have to do with, with an eating plan and with staying on plan? So the story has it could have been bad. It really could have been bad, but it has a different ending. So, taking that time, if we had taken the time to learn about this ahead of time, and so that's what we're trying to tell you all, is just give you all some things ahead of time so that you don't get down here and then go, great.
Well, it applies to anywhere, because anywhere post-COVID.
Yes.
Because even like if you went to the beach, there's so many restaurants now that have limited seating still because they don't have the staff. And so you really need to plan. Unless you're just going to go to the beach and take your own food and everything and not go anywhere, you need to find out if your favorite spot is still open.
Yeah.
If they're open during the hours you're going to be there, because some places are just opened in the evenings and not during lunch, or vice versa, So just take a little time to plan, so that you don't have the stress, and then end up stress eating, pulling through McDonald's and getting a quarter pounder with cheese and a big meal, not a happy meal.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right. So it can apply to everywhere. This specifically happens to be Disney because that's where we are. We are here at Disney Springs. And in case you were just now jumping in, I'm Kelly with IfYouHaveAnEgg.com. This is Orlando Debbie. We're giving you all, do we have Figment behind us? No, I don't think so. I think it's Rainforest Cafe.
There's a Rainforest Cafe and a dragon on that side of the lake.
Yeah. But yeah, and Julie says California, is also a mess. And Mary agrees that planning is the key. So this is going to be specifically about Disney, again, just because we're here. But Debbie's exactly right. When we, even in Knoxville, in little bitty Knoxville, Tennessee, we have the Big Ears Festival there this weekend, and the Knoxville Marathon is there, but we have restaurants that are still not open on Mondays. Like downtown Knoxville, most of the restaurants are still not open on Mondays. So if you just showed up on a Monday, you're out of luck. You're going to get pizza. I'm trying to think who is open on Mondays. But anyway, so just pre-planning, is going to be key. So first thing
is coming down here today, when we were chatting about where to eat, I was online looking at places at Disney Springs that were still open, because I knew I had ate at the Black Pig before, and it was really good, and we could either eat sit down or take it out and sit somewhere else. We couldn't find a table, but I didn't want to suggest it till I knew that it was still open.
Sure. Yeah.
And it would be open during the hours that we were going to try to eat.
Yeah. So that's a good one, is to check ahead to make sure that the place that you wanted to go, that it's going to be available. So if you're specifically coming here to Disney, I will say again, this Disney reservation system is no joke. And hello, Barbara. But we're not at the campground. We are at Disney, but we are not at the campground. But this new reservation system is no joke. So if you don't make a plan to be in a park ahead of your trip, you may not get in. We just talked about that. Even with a valid ticket, you may not get in. We thought we could wait until we got down here and just hit all of our favorites, but that was a big no. So luckily Brandon, and shout out to Brandon with guest services, wherever you are tonight, Betty, he got us hooked up. We had to have some major flexibility on our part. And yes, Melinda, we know who Figment is, but I don't see him. Oh wait, no, I do not see him. We'll look for him for you though. But then as far as the Disney sit-down dining, and Debbie was just talking about that, the Disney sit-down dining is still very limited. So I think most everything is opened up after COVID, but it's opened up with limited availability. I mean, it's very limited. So we normally if we want to go to a sit-down, we understand that we have to make a reservation, and you might say, in years past we've said, oh, we want to go to, I don't know, make something at Liberty Tree Tavern. We'd say, okay, we wanted to go between noon and 1. We can't go till 2 or 2:30. We were looking at these places and there was nothing available.
Right.
And it was before 4 o'clock, or it was after 9 o'clock. So if we were going to go to have a sit down something, we were going to have to wait until after the chat to have a sit down. So this reservation thing, it's no joke. There were no walk-ups available at most of the places that we would have chosen to eat. So that reservation system, use it ahead of time. You can still go old school like John used to, and you can call 407-939-3463. But it wasn't a great option. We got nowhere with that. You can still call it, but we got nowhere with that. So it looks like the best option is to go to your Disney experience. You can download the app to your phone. You can go ahead and go there and go ahead, and select, some dining. And so when you go there, you're going to select the location icon. So that little icon that looks like that. It looks like an upside down teardrop with a circle in the middle that just indicates location. So you go to the location icon, and then you'll either open up other selections by choosing. There's a little down arrow that looks like this. And select dining. So it comes up to, I think it comes up to wait times is what it says when you first go there. But if you touch that little down arrow, it's going to bring up some other selections, and you can go to dining. And then if walk up was a previous option, but there is none available at that restaurant, it will actually say walk up list is at capacity. That means don't even try to walk up. So anyway, again, best case, make a reservation, or at least check your times. The best way to use quick service or like our walk-up service is also through the My Disney experience, and you can even let the Disney Genie, if you want to do that. I didn't think that was great. Have you used the Disney Genie service yet? Just the regular Genie, not Genie Plus.
Oh, no.
Yeah. It was okay. For people who've never been to Disney before, it might be a great idea because it makes suggestions on where to go. We just found it irritating. Because we've been here so many times, and the reservation system was new, but we've been here so many times, the Genie service was irritating to us because we didn't want to know what it suggested. But you can do that. You can use that. So if you just want to walk up, or if you want a quick service, it's still best to go through that so that you can find out where it is, the hours, because we did notice a couple of things did have some reduced hours. Hopefully we will be brought back. Okay, good. I don't think we're gone anywhere. So we did find some things that had some on. And you can do the same thing. You can touch the location icon, and you can view a map. You can either view a map of the quick service that's available, or you can go directly to that one. Best on those to go ahead and pre-order from the app, and then it'll give you a push notification when your food is ready. Is that what you found?
Yeah. Unless you're having troubles connecting to the app, and but then they'll usually let you just walk up. If they're experiencing problems with the app, they'll just let you walk up and order.
Yeah, but if you can get on the app, that's been the easiest way, I think, to get some food.
I happened to have been at the park the day that the AWS system went down.
Oh no!
I was here, and nothing worked. It was so frustrating. But we didn't know what had happened. We didn't know what had happened until we got home.
Wow, that's crazy. Check out the menus before you go. So when Debbie made the recommendation on the Polite Pig on going there tonight, we had not been there before, so that was the first thing I did was went online to check, to choose something that was gonna fit within my plan today, and it was delicious.
Yeah.
It was nice to know before I got there they didn't have exactly what I wanted, from the menu, but it was okay because I could make a backup plan. But check out the menus before you go. Every quick service and sit down restaurant here at Disney has the full menu on on your app, on the My Disney experience. And I did confirm that every single guest still has the opportunity to either speak with the chef, or they now have a thing called a special diets trained cast member. I did not know that. I've never personally asked to speak with one, but I've been at a table next to someone who's asked to speak with one.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody has the ability to do that, so you can speak with either the chef or a special diets trained cast member. Now, that doesn't mean that they can grant your request. So there are a lot of magical things they can do at Disney. That doesn't mean that they can grant it. But if you have any concerns or questions, if you have questions about the way the food's prepared, if you wanted to leave butter off of something or leave something on the side or whatever, they're very, when they can be, they're very accommodating. But when you make a reservation, there's also, if it's a reservation for a sit-down restaurant, I wanted to let you know that while you're making that reservation, there is one screen that pops up that's going to let you select things like if you have any concerns over things like eggs, shellfish, soy, any special dietary concerns. There's going to be boxes, things that you can check if you've got a concern about that and use it. It's there. Go ahead and use it. If you're staying at a resort that has a refrigerator, or like we're staying at the campground, if the resort has a refrigerator, or if you're at the campground, use it. You're going to want to stock up on some things that are 0 point foods that might be perishable. Go ahead and use that. I think there are, what was it I decided one time? Is it 3 or 6 public stores that are like, I know there's 3 that are pretty quick.
There are
everywhere.
5 within walking distance of my house.
Yeah, so you have every opportunity just to run by a Publix. There's got to be a couple of Trader Joe's. There are places to to get things. So go ahead and grab those things, and stock up. So when we say and we are staying at the campground again this time, last week during the chat we talked about the sturdy things that I pack, things that I can pack in a cooler, things that we can leave in the camper. So we've always got, carrots, apples, bananas, clementines. Hard-boiled eggs. I make hard-boiled eggs before we come down. I make that man's turkey tenderloin. Just some things that we can keep, while we're here. So do you ever bring a cooler when you come, or you just always get your food here? But you can, though. You can. People are always shocked that you can bring food into Disney. They've never taken any food away from me.
No.
Ever.
There's people that come in that come with the group that I come with, and they always bring their own food. Yeah. Peanut butter crackers, whatever.
Yeah.
I
just
just plan to eat here that afternoon. So
yeah, and you can totally do that too. And speaking of resorts, all of the Disney properties, so every Disney resort has a quick serve or a market or some type of a market, and they should also have apples, bananas. They have fresh fruits. Some of them have yogurt. I know, like at the campground, they have yogurt, and then I've seen it at the Contemporary, Yacht and Beach Club, several boardwalks, several of the others that have sort of that market, and they all should have either a quick serve or a market.
You can find all that stuff inside the park too.
Yeah.
So if you want to have fresh fruit or yogurt or something like that as a snack, you can find that in the different little vending places.
Yeah, you just have to kind of know ahead of time, and you can get a park map. So when you go, and I'm going to move your stuff. When you first go in the park, you can still get a paper map. Now, you can get this on your phone, but I find it easier to look at the park map. And on the park map, you can find all of those places. So you'll be able to find the place that has the fresh fruit. You'll be able to find things like that. So I always grab a map when I first go in.
Also, I'll tell you a little tidbit if you're here. An adult can have a kid's meal, and with every kid's meal, and normally the kid's meal portion is plenty for most adults.
Yeah.
And you get the option of having sliced apples, like you do with a Happy Meal box.
Right.
Something like that.
Right. That's a great one. Yeah, I hadn't even thought about that. But yeah, you could order a kid's meal, and then you can get the fruit. Sometimes they have a fruit cup or sliced apples or things just like a Happy Meal. You could get that as as your option, for your meal. That's a great idea. That's a really good idea. John and I sometimes split. We'll split something when we get down here. Or if push comes to shove, and I'm going to give you all an opportunity to ask a couple of questions if you want to. But if push comes to shove, all else, you just can't think of anything else to do, then just do the 2 on, 1 off, like I talk about all the time. So do 2 meals on plan. Try to do 2 meals on plan and 1 meal off plan, and just don't worry about the meal that's off plan, as long as you don't make yourself sick. So I have told you all, many times. There have been many times down here that even when I was trying to do the 2 on, 1 off, that the 1 off, I went crazy and was sick. Because you don't want to get down here. You don't want to get down here not plan, or wherever you're going. Because again, we were talking about the beach, we were talking about Six Flags, we were talking about wherever. Life is very different, as I don't care what city, small, large, whatever. Things are very different as things are opening back up after COVID, and you need to just think ahead, plan ahead a little bit. But that 2-1 on off, if you just think, I can't deal with 1 meal a day, or my family has decided to go to the Germany buffet, or we're at the beach and we're going to the all-you-can-eat seafood restaurant or whatever. If you have 1 meal a day that you literally just have, you're just not going to have any control of, or you don't want to have any control of, other than some self-control to not be sick. Like tomorrow, John and I are going to the Epcot Flower and Garden Festival, and tomorrow we're going to do the Garden Graze, which you go around the world, and you're going to, we're going to try food from all these different worlds. Well, there's small plates, but that's going to be our 1 off. So we'll have 2, and John and I have already planned, what we're going to do for our 2 on, so that we can do our 1 off, so that we can enjoy this Garden Graze, get whatever the special prize is at the end, and try all these foods, but not feel bad about it. So 2 on, 1 off is a great way to do that, because then you just try to plan, you plan 2 meals, they're going to be more on plan. Go ahead and track them even, so that you know that those are done and out of the way, and then just enjoy whatever that 3rd meal is going to be. And 3rd meal doesn't have to be dinner. It doesn't have to be dinner.
One of those questions earlier where you did a half thumb, really that one would be a thumbs up for tomorrow.
That's true. Yeah. Where can you I don't remember which one it was, but it was one of the ones that I had done a half thumb on. Tomorrow it could be eating with my family. Yeah. It could be a thumbs up, because John has helped me figure out a way tomorrow.
Or not doing an activity because you didn't feel like you could stay in plan.
Right. Exactly. Okay, so do y'all have any questions? Has this been helpful at all? Is anybody planning a Disney trip? Is there anything else you all need to know? Because y'all have been suddenly very silent. I hope you can hear us just fine. I know there's still a few of you there. It's not nighty-night time for everybody yet. So while y'all are thinking about that, I just want to I would love to thank Orlando Debbie for driving down here and being with us tonight.
Thanks for inviting me.
Yep, we would love to thank John for going back to the camper to wash clothes.
Yes.
So that we can just have girl time tonight, because that's unusual too. But thank you, Liz. It was good to see you again tonight. Yeah, so I hope you all will, I hope everybody will say bye to Debbie. I'll see you again next week. So y'all will see me.
I'll see you too, but I'll be on my sofa.
Yes, Debbie will be seeing you from her sofa next week. But I hope you all will wish Debbie safe travels back home after we leave her tonight. And good. I'm glad to see it makes Katie want to go back to Disney. So I hope we haven't freaked you out.
I was glad.
Yep, and Melinda's been watching live TikTok people over the Flower and Garden Show. Yeah.
I just changed jobs, so I'm going to have to come down before June.
Yes.
And go to the Flower and Garden Festival.
Thank you, Mary. Thanks, Katie. Yep.
Bye, Sherry.
Yep, and good night, Melinda. So y'all got 3 minutes to tell us good night.
Good night, Julie.
Yeah.
Nice to see all of you. Thank you.
Good to see you, Nancy.
Yeah, safe travels to both, because they got to go home too.
Well, not tomorrow.
I can't keep her here forever.
Yeah, not forever.
I keep trying to talk her into opening a franchise.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Good night, Rosie. It's good to see you. Thank you, Sandra. So I hope y'all have a great week. We're going to start winding down here too. I'm going to lose my voice again, but that is okay because we've been screaming over the top. So this is a good reason to lose your voice, is yelling over the top of a live band at Disney Springs, right? Yeah, and over the top of a volcano. But y'all have a great evening. Yeah.
Nice to see you too, Lynette. Glad you were here.
Thank you. Oh, whatever, Melinda, thank you. Thank you, she's silly. She said franchise would be wonderful.
Her franchise would be wonderful. Yeah, I keep trying to convince her.
No, we'll just retire and move down here.
Huh?
We'll just retire and move down here.
Oh, yeah, you can do that too.
Yeah. Yeah. So y'all have a great evening. We're going to go ahead and start winding it down. If you're watching this on YouTube, just go ahead and let that next video roll over. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I don't know why not, because we do fun things like coming to Disney Springs.
Hit that subscribe button.
Yep, go ahead and hit that subscribe
share,
button. Yeah,
do all that good stuff.
There you go.
You know?
She's my best spokesperson. So we're going to go ahead and start winding up, but y'all have a great evening, and we will see you next time. Good night.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.